And hi!
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! Welcome. Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to Henshin Hangout, everyone.
What's up?
Yo, how's it going?
How's it going? Hey, look, we're all three.
Justin back.
All three of us are here.
3J.
Boom, boom.
We're back for hand. Oh,
There we go.
I
Thank
hit
you.
David. I thought I
You
hit
hit
you.
me. You didn't get Johnny.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I was hurt for a while. But it's okay now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Henshin Hangout.
Hit, shit, hang out. Hit, shit, hang out. Woo!
Oh,
All right.
got some fun toys too.
Yeah, no, we got props thanks to Toku Kid.
Yeah.
Toku Kid. Thank you, Toku Kid.
We're not
wherever
keeping
you are.
Yeah, we're keeping them. We're keeping them.
Anyway.
Guys, thank you
These
so
are so
much for
awesome.
joining us for Henshin Hangout. Everybody's back. It feels
Yeah.
like a reunion.
Yep.
Everything's coming together. Yeah, it's awesome. So thank you guys for joining us on your Saturday. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us.
We appreciate that.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're here to talk about Kamen Rider Zio and Lupat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how's your week? How's your guys' week going?
Busy.
Busy. Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
super busy.
I'm too busy to the point where I'm gotta be gone for the next 2 weeks after this.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Justin.
I know. Well, no, good news is that they're both movie related. So
That's dope.
Awesome.
Lumpia doing it big.
yeah.
Lumpia.
So
I'm hungry for
I'll
some
be,
lumpia right now.
so I'll be coming back after that though. But
So
So
yeah,
when you
stuff.
come back, you got to have a full plate of lumpia.
everyone says that.
No,
Every
I'm
time
so
I know,
serious.
it's like
I'm-
everyone's
no, I'm
like, "Oh,
serious.
hey, you're gonna bring
You
lumpia."
bring the
for this and
lumpia, I'll bring the chili sauce and the sweet and sour sauce.
I have friends.
And I'll bring an appetite.
Definitely.
I feel
I've
that's a
actually
fair. That's a
I've
fair.
actually never had
It's
lumpia
definitely a
before.
fair trade.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair trade.
I want to try it for the first time.
We never
You've
had
never had
lumpia
lumpia?
before?
No.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God.
Okay. Hold on. No, I will fix that. Before that, I will do it.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
I
Yay.
will, for now.
Oh
no,
my
I will,
God.
No, that's unfair.
How,
No.
how are we friends and you've never had lumpia before?
No.
You literally can buy it at any store now.
You
like,
can?
Yeah, they come like fruit or like they're frozen.
They're frozen.
They're
yeah.
frozen. You could just fry them.
You can go,
Really?
you can go like an Albertsons or what have you.
I had no idea.
I bet you.
Wait,
Yeah.
do they still adobo in stores?
No.
No,
Sorry.
Adobo's easy though.
Yeah.
We'll get back to
I
that.
bet you
Okay,
Trader
okay.
Joe's that's near this store probably has a
We'll
lumpia.
get back.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean we're all back and we watched. Did you guys enjoy these episodes this week?
It's been. Whoa! Wow.
Oh wait, see every single time. I feel like every single time, like I don't like it, you'll like it, or if you don't like it, I kind of like it because I kind of like this week's episodes.
So here's the thing. I'm not going to spoil the thing, but Lupat was kind of amazing to me. Like, Lupat this week, I was just like, I got all the feels. I almost shed some tears. I was like, this
And
is
it
hella
snuck
dope.
up on you. You thought it was gonna be a corny.
Yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
then I was like, oh shit!
Like, this is amazing.
Oh my god!
But before we get to Loop Battle, we'll start with Kamen Rider.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no! What happened?
Well, first off, you haven't been here. You haven't been here last week.
You were so into this show.
No, he likes it sometimes. He likes it sometimes.
So here's what I was telling Jezzer, because you missed this. So like, what I was telling Jezzer is, I really like the show, but my problem with it is though is that it became very episodic.
Yeah.
It became
Yeah.
very super fast because
Yeah.
everything becomes episodic to a certain degree. But this happened really fast where we knew the setup was like, okay, do this, actually meet the real writer, get the watch, blah blah, defeat the monster, blah blah. It kept hitting all the same beats. And with this week's episode, the way it started out, I was like, oh no, they're doing it.
Yeah.
However, I will say this though, the finish was way better though.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
of this week, because like the thing was as we were watching, and you told me this beforehand, you're like, I like this week's episode. You were like, you're going to get answers. Like, wait, we get answers?
Yeah.
So I actually like some of the stuff we got this
we
episode.
get answers. And I have to go back. Last week I had said that the guy, the new another writer, he was doing this like with pure intentions. He was not. I have to go back.
You
I went
rewatched
back,
it,
Yeah, I
you
was
realized,
like,
not
oh,
really.
wait, no, time out. That's kind of selfish. It was
Yeah.
it was a selfish reason why I did it.
Oh, the another writer?
The another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low
Another
key
writer.
though, same thing. Like I was like, for last week when we were talking, I was like, yeah, he's doing out of love. And this week I was like, oh no, that dude's a
I
stalker.
was looking at
he
from
might
the-
catch a case.
I was looking at it from the point of view of him trying to save the theater and keep it running, but no. He's just trying to get some.
No, especially his. What happens to when the girl doesn't feel the same way about
Yeah.
him? It turns into mega creep mode, and I'm not super into that.
Oh,
but I mean,
okay.
that's the point, though. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be into that.
Oh, exactly. You're supposed to kind of root against him, which you actually do.
Yeah,
and then, like, but hold on a second, before we can get more into this episode, let's check out who's in the chat. We got a lot of people in here. Ooh. So, what's up to Crab Stomp? Yo,
Yeah.
J Boss. What's up, Layla? Nightman's in here. Gotham Knight RX. Who else we got? Master Rider Blue. The Edward Sanchez Productions. How's it going? Okay, we got a lot of people here.
Yes,
Yo,
thank you guys
hey
for
guys.
showing up.
Yeah, thank you. Where's Blackwing? Can someone send a message? Is he asleep right now? Is he missing out
Wake
on
him
us?
up.
The Movie Rider's here. Movie Rider's here. Jezzer,
is
how
he?
you doing?
Hey, it's not me. Watch my hands the whole time. I'll keep them up. It's not me. Oh, well, Thomas Franco doesn't know anything. So.
But yo, look in the chat though. Like some people have been saying some interesting things. Like Master Rider Blue said Zio has been sucking, and then but Layla pointed out she said even though Lupat is a hot mess, which it is, she says character is something that the show does right, which I have to agree with.
Okay, there's one. Okay, I'll give the character, the main protagonists, like the heroes and everything, they're doing right. The one that they're messing up on is the villains.
Yeah,
Big time.
The
Big
villains,
time.
No.
and that's what I'll give to Zio. The another writers, they're like their characters are deep. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'll give to them.
I mean,
it's flipped. It's definitely flipped. The heroes are kind of lacking.
I agree.
It's the villains that are
as the guy who's been on the Lupat train. Is there a train? I guess there's a train.
There is a train. The golden.
There is a train.
There is an actual train.
I've been enjoying the show probably definitely more than you two. But I agree 100% that the villains are a point that they keep forgetting because they're distracted with the conflict between the two teams.
Yeah.
But Zio has far more entertaining villains.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the Time Jackers.
The Time Jackers are the best part. Like I want the Time Jackers to win. I don't really care about everybody. Ul,
Aura, and Swartz are fun characters, and I love anytime that...
And Waz is great.
Waz is the man. Waz stepped up this episode.
Yeah.
Can I
This is a
point out...
Waz fun episode.
Well, point out a running gag, me and my buddy, whenever we watch a show, every time Waz shows up, we keep imagining Sougo going, "Hi, Waz!"
Oh, okay. Quick update.
Okay,
So first off, shout out to Master Rider Blue. He was like, Blackwing, Henshin Hangout. He put out the call. And Layla just gave us an update. Blackwing has to practice for a play. He's doing his theater class.
Oh, then...
Dude, that's super dope.
Then leave... All right,
Don't
everyone,
laugh.
Way
yo,
to go, Blackwing.
everyone.
Way to go, Blackwing.
Okay, leave him alone then. He's got work to do.
Okay, that laughing is not us. That is the tyrannical Joe somewhere, wherever he is. Don't ignore that.
Hey, I was in a theater group too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, same here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a marching band. But, you know...
Creativity, artistry, still same thing.
exactly.
Yo, Blackwing, shout out. Hopefully you go through it. We watch this, everything like that. We're wishing you luck. That's so awesome, dude. And yo, come back and give us details. Go Blackwing.
Yeah.
Blackwing. Should be black, but okay. Cool.
Okay, so back to it. So we're talking about the
Yeah.
villains, how the villains so much have developed and everything.
Well, the another overall, like we said, like the another wizard is the reality is like he's that guy who never told the person he's into that he's into them, and all of this stuff that he has been doing since 2012. Let's keep that in mind.
If you put it in perspective, that's a while.
It's a while.
It is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say what's really dope about it is that look at him in 2012.
Yeah.
2012, he's all clean cut. He's got his life together. But then look at him like in the current year.
He's like a hermit.
Exactly. He's like a hot mess. He's wearing like that. He's wearing like the hat and everything like that. It's like his life is like kind of going to the spiral.
You'd think with like getting all these powers and becoming this powerful that it'd take a different turn. Like it would be cocky or
Exactly.
It just.
But no, he never got the love of his life, and that kind of sent his life into a spiral.
Because the thing is that, like at the end of the day, it's like he was never truthful to himself, and so because of the fact that he kept never being truthful to himself, he kept going in the same circle of his own personal depression, and just into the point where he's so far deep being another wizard that he can't come back from that. He's too far gone. Especially when you have Hora going, cool, get more revenge.
And the cool thing about this, though, we're just giving our opinions, so we don't have to recap everything. Because everybody saw it. And the cool thing about this, though, I love the ending of this episode. I love when he calls and talks to his former self.
Yeah.
Now, I wish they had kind of built it in more because the cool thing about anime is in anime fights, they talk. And people are like, why do they talk? Because it helps also resolve the plot.
Yeah.
So during the fight, I wish they had, Zio would have been like, you need to man up to it. You need to make up for this. You can't blah, blah, something like that. So it made things a little bit smoother transition. But I love that phone call. It's like, no, you need to tell her. For good or for bad, you need to tell her so you can move on with your life.
This is also like the time. This is also, hey, remember, show's a time travel show.
Yeah.
So
Booyah.
this is like
Booyah.
Doctor Who stuff.
Exactly, which we were finally warning.
Yeah, they actually did it. They actually went you got to see him go. Like usually it's just like a cutscene. They change the color of the color of the like the tint of the show. So you kind of know it's a little bit older, but it's so subtle that sometimes you forget.
Now I will
say.
Oh, go ahead.
Just one thing though, this was a powerful moment. Like, the thing about this was the fact that this man, like, owed up to, like, who he was in love with. The fact he told her for good or bad. That's a powerful message that we can all learn from. And so just say that if there's someone who's special to you out there, just take that leap. Just tell them, because you never know what will happen. At least you'll be able to move on. So I'm just saying, if there's someone that you really, really care for, and maybe she's in New Jersey right now.
What the shit?
She'll be back soon. Tell her how you feel.
What are you doing on the ground?
Sorry about that. So anyway, back home. Let's get it back rolling.
It was uncomfortable.
What are you doing on the ground?
It was getting her comfortable. It was getting her comfortable. Sorry, y'all.
The scene where Woz wanted Sougo to go back in time. Mm-hmm. What do you think that was all about? Where he chose not to, and Woz was just kind of like, all right. Well, I felt like Woz has a plan for Sougo, even though he's not very aggressive in putting it forward. That he's trying to subtly push him in that direction. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a tug of war. It's a tug of war between him, Woz, and Geiz.
Here's something I do like about that moment too, where Sougo actually is calling Woz for help. Mm-hmm. And and it's something that I realize, like, every time Woz shows up when Woz wants to show up. Yeah, he's always like showboating and here I am. But this time he was actually shocked that Sougo was like, "Hey, can you come out here and talk to us?" Oh wait, what?
So is he always lurking?
I think he's always ready to do his thing, but this time he was like, I wasn't ready for you to
hey, that's not my moment.
But he's like, I'm not ready for you to ask me to do stuff for you. But he's got to keep playing this my lord stuff. So he's like, oh, okay, so that's what I'm here for your command. See, that threw him off, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Can we be real though? It is kind of creepy though.
Oh, it's creepy.
The fact that he's always there. It's like even in your most private moments, it's all of a sudden, Woz is always watching. It's kind of creepy.
On the toilet, it's kind of creepy. Hey, Woz, can you get me some toilet paper?
Exactly.
Okay, my lord, since you asked.
Are you guys worried at it? Are you worried about him?
Loopy at home is like, not sure if this is right. Woz, taste.
You know what? You have to add more salt to the filling.
Are you guys worried about Woz though? Like that he's gonna be a baddie or anything like that?
Not so much worried that he'll be a baddie. It's just like right now I'm still intrigued about what his intentions are. What you got, Johnny?
Super chat!
Fair enough.
My hands were here.
Whoa, Lupinranger gave us a super chat. Thank you, Jezzer. Thank you.
It's not me.
It's Woz Smithers.
He says Woz wants to go after it and take control.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I can see that.
I feel like he's still not at that point yet.
Yeah.
And I think also what Woz is being surprised by too, though, is that the way Sugo's acting is that he's not acting like the overlord he's expecting.
Yeah.
He's like becoming like this like hero king type deal.
Yeah.
Which actually makes me wonder though, because Woz is coming back in time, and I'm wondering, like, could this be a possibility there's like two different Wozes? Because the thing about this though, Geiz hates Woz. Right. But we know Woz, again, appreciates Sougo and gives him all this advice and everything like that, and wants to help him on his path. So maybe there's two different Wozes. Woz, who serves like the evil like emperor and everything like that, and a Woz who serves the good him in the future. And there's like just two of them. So that could be a possibility.
To me, that'd be interesting. I don't know if there's a lot of evidence that will kind of prove that. But don't get me wrong. If it's a time travel show and they're good about it, that would be a fun thing to learn.
I got something.
What you got?
I think Omazeo is already in the show.
Oh,
we've already seen him.
Is it the uncle? So I don't have to eat them.
I do think
spicy wings coming.
I really do think it's the uncle. I do think that Sougo, it's older Sougo.
What?
Oh, Jezzer! Look at you, Jezzer. I like that theory. I like that theory.
Bring that picture again.
Bring the chart back.
Let's go back.
Bring the chart back. Thank you.
You know the hair.
Oh my god!
You see, like he comes in at the most random. Like he's not always there. He's not always there, and it's just too. It's too convenient.
Oh, that would be...
And that'd be an interesting thing to see. I mean, definitely.
And I will then be proven correct.
No.
So...
Wait, no, you said the uncle wasn't evil.
No, I said the uncle was going to be evil. Yeah. That's what I said.
Oh, you said the uncle was going to be evil.
I'm saying that he's going to be
I said the uncle was going to be evil. And
I think
that
he's going
was
to be
the bet. Yeah.
So
that's why the devil... That's why the devil horns on
Who,
the uncle.
Wait, the hot wing bet, though?
Was for me to be proven wrong if he wasn't going to be evil.
Right.
So
wait, we had another bet?
Yes,
that
we
was
made a hot wing
The
bet.
hot wing bet was for me. If by episode 16, if the uncle isn't turned out to be the villain of the show or
Exactly.
a villain, then I would be
Eating
gonna
hot
be
wings. And so he
I
said
had
being a
some hot
villain.
wings today.
So, Jezzer,
What?
you're going against your own bet now.
Wait, I thought you made the bet with him.
You made the bet,
I made
Jezzer.
the bet?
Yes,
Dang
Jezzer.
I guess we're eating wings, I guess. But also another like I was complaining about this before is like they never explain what happens to the actual writers when the other people get the powers. They never explain any of that until this episode. They so what's going on is they're creating a separate timeline. As soon as the time jackers give the watch to the another writer, it creates a separate timeline in which that the writer really never. That's why they don't have memory of it or anything. The writer never really like embraces that writer power.
Right.
So it's a separate timeline. That's what the time jackers are doing. They're creating a
multiverse.
A multiverse, yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, though, because what's interesting is that like, with this is all said and done, like it'll actually set it up like for the next writer series to be totally fresh.
Yes.
So there's gonna be so many multiverses where it's gonna be like, well, guess what? In your world, you are the first Kamen Rider potentially.
But the thing that happens I'm assuming that happens is after they hit that separation in the timelines, they leave this gets left behind with the original timeline,
Right.
Which explains why those past writers are the ones giving the watches to Sougo and Geiz.
Okay, so here's my question, though, because this thing is confusing me, because I agree with you. So here's the thing, can I see the watches real quick? So here's the thing, let's pretend that you guys are like the past writers.
Okay.
So you're building the past, you're building the present. And so the thing about it is, though, building the present gives me the watch, right? So you give me the watch.
But Bill, that's not Bill. He's not technically Bill. He's why am I forgetting his name? What's Bill?
Sento.
He's Sento.
Wow, hold on.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's what happens, though. That's what happens
No,
when
that's
you
what
watch
happens,
one
yeah.
show and you have
go
to think
to the
about
next
the other.
show.
All of a sudden, you'll forget characters' names
Sento.
that you knew.
Why did I forget? Sento?
Like you knew a family member, and then all of a sudden, who?
Man, Joe forever. Please, forever. Okay, so here's the thing. So build gives me the writer. I'm like, oh yeah, I can use a boom. Then when I go back in time, I give it to you.
A blank one.
Exactly. Yeah. So to give to me. Okay, but here's the thing though. So where are they getting the blank ones from? And that's the thing I'm saying, because he gives it to him. And
Isn't the blank ones another writer's watch?
No.
It's not?
No, we don't see him pick it up. And that's what I'm saying, because here's the thing. Because even though they give that to you, they always have another watch to use that transformation later on.
Dude, is that something?
Sougo and Geiz give them blank watches.
So Sougo and Geiz. So producer Nagami, he's saying that they have blank watches to give.
Okay.
That makes sense now. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they give it to the original timeline?
Yeah,
Yes.
so they give them the blank watch, and then over the years it transforms to the watch that they get later on. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So they're keeping the timeline intact.
Yeah, they need to make that a little more clear, but okay, because I was getting that confused.
The rules, the time travel rules on this show are
way different than anything we've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's sloppy time travel writing.
It's very
super
sloppy time travel.
Bad.
And I feel like they forget and then remember, and then they kind of like, oh wait, hold on, sorry, and this is what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the other thing I totally forgot to explain. Hold on, and etc.
I think they're writing it as they go. And
100%,
it's a point where like they're doing a time travel show, but they don't know anything about, or they
didn't figure out the
go
rules.
watch Terminator.
Yeah.
Go watch Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Go, just watch those, and then you'll figure. You guys
Watch
can figure something out.
Turtles 3, Turtles in Time.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Are you sure? No, don't do that.
All right.
But they made pizza, Jezzer.
It's equal.
They made pizza.
It's equal mass displacement.
Oh yeah.
You can only change size if you're the same size.
Oh my God.
It's not. That's not the time travel you want to follow.
No.
All right, so here's the thing though. So show's dope. Everything's like going well and everything like that. Our villains are stepping up big time. One thing I will say that I'm kind of disappointed by, because as I'm watching the show, I'm like, okay, every time they defeat another writer, they do it by using like the new abilities they get, right?
Yeah.
The thing that kind of gets me is those that like, even though this is a time travel show and they're time writers, they don't exemplify any time powers.
No.
Like, because here's the thing though, like, because I was thinking about this,
Like turn back time, stop time, and
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you
Like
look at
the- like
Wizard.
the Time
Wizards
Jackers.
does like match, exactly, or like Jack Kirby, Time Warrior.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
That
So,
is true. That is true.
so that's the thing though. That's one thing that's gonna be kind of disappointed I want to see from the show.
No, that's what I'm saying too. Like the writers, they're doing a time travel show, like manipulation of time, but they're not really playing that part.
No,
But you know what's interesting,
They kind of
too?
established even from the first episode. Like that's never been Zio's power set.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's like, I feel it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, agreed.
You know,
Because with all this time travel, they should be taking advantage of it.
Like, wouldn't that be cool if they did something like that? Like, but no.
Another thing that I discovered too, though. So I was taking a look because I was wondering, like, why is the writing of the show so wonky?
It's definitely not enough gasoline. I agree with that.
What?
So
why is the writer so wonky?
The writing is so wonky. So I took a look at the writers for Patranger versus Lupinranger and the writing team that's on this show. The writing team on this show, fairly new getting to the game.
Yep.
The writing team that's on Patranger, though, jeez. So they've got some deep cuts on there. There's this one cat on there who's been writing for like anime and Sentai series for the longest time. He even wrote for... what was the last Sentai series before? Q-Ranger. He wrote for Q-Ranger too. So they've got an established, strong writers room.
So you're saying these writers are just kind of getting their foot in?
Yeah.
I think so.
And they have a producer who's kind of what we call like. There's a thing where it's like a producer. This writer show is definitely a producer-driven show, and the producer's job in a writer show in this case is mostly doing what Bandai and Toei really wants to do, not really pushing what a story reason is. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I've learned about what shows and movies he's produced for Toei, I've decided he is my enemy.
Really?
He is my enemy.
And he has ruined shows I've loved. He's produced movies I've hated. And I've when I found out like he's the producer of this show, I went, uh-oh.
Makes sense.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Power Rangers. What was it called? The Kesha era? What was the name of that, Joe? What was the name of that producer who did all the big explosions?
Oh, Disney. It was Disney.
The producer, the showrunner for that?
For
Power Rangers.
Zachor?
Something was like Keshem or something like Keshem or whatever. I can't remember his name. But he was...
Jonathan Zachor?
Maybe. It was him who came and started doing like all the big explosions and everything like that.
I like that.
And they said, well, some people like really hated on it, and they said that was his era and how it kind of like went downhill from that.
Really? I like big explosions.
I loved them.
Well, that's where they had plenty of gasoline.
Yeah, I loved them RPM because RPM they're hilarious.
Yeah. Well, they had a reason behind it. Okay, so here let's talk a little bit about the wizard element of the show.
Ooh, get the rings out.
Specifically because I'm assuming both of you have not seen the show.
No.
Especially how you're handling those rings.
No.
Yeah.
You've definitely not seen the show.
Not at all.
I've seen a couple episodes of Wizard. J-Boss actually asked, like, what did I think of Wizard? I have a long, weird history with Wizard, but I will say I used to really hate it. I'm okay with it now. I think the fights are cool. And, like, it's kind of cool because Wizard's fighting style is that...
No, don't do that.
Wizard fighting style is that since they were worried that they didn't want kids to punch each other with rings on their hands, all of Wizard's fighting style is like grapples and kicks.
Okay.
So,
really?
Yeah. So actually, that's kind of cool. When Gates becomes Wizard, his fighting style actually matches the fighting style of Wizard.
That's
So
cool. That's a cool thing.
yeah, he was like, oh, they remember he's a kicky wizard. You know, he's a kicky rider, and so so that's kind of cool in that regard because they don't want kids to.
Because this is literally like...
These will hurt, you know?
For sure. I will say another thing that I liked about this series, like Wizard, like even though I've seen it, dude, Beast is dope.
Beast is a fun character.
Beast is dope. Like, I love that line he says. He's like, what does he say? Like, we'll worry about tomorrow later. Let's focus on surviving today.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. That's kind of cool, though.
Cool. I love the suit, man.
Yeah, I love his personality.
Hey, Blackwing's here.
Blackwing.
Blackwing!
I didn't buy the wizard driver Blackwing. That was this is Toku
Kid
Kids.
brought it for us. What's up, Blackwing? Congrats on the play, bro. Hope it's going well.
Hope that their class, right? Hope that's going well. Yeah.
So that's cool. That is a cool story. That's the reason that they don't do punching in there.
Yeah, it's like they didn't want kids to hit each other with rings, so which actually made him have some really dope fights.
Really?
Yeah, I watched an episode recently just to see how before I watched this, I went, that was pretty good. Well, like, the story is okay, but
how far into Wizard did you get?
I only went to the first 4 episodes, and I'm like, they're okay. I'm not really feeling the lead character so much, but that's Wizard.
I mean, he was in this episode, right?
Well, no, that was Beast. Technically, we didn't get Haru.
Wizard. It was kind of.
Oh, like the back of his head. Can I say this is the worst back of the head that we've seen so far?
Really?
Because at least with Forze, I'm like, yeah, skinny guy.
We should do a show where we're totally our backs are turned, or it's not really
us.
Well,
I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks, so just get a guy with my build,
and then have him turn around.
Just have him turn around,
That's gonna be fun.
What is it?
Another Justin.
Mass displacement. Mass displacement.
It's equal mass displacement.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That kind of looks like you, no?
Justin,
you're looking a little green there, man.
Justin, high five.
Where'd he go?
Oh, what happened to Justin? What happened to Justin?
Okay.
Oh
my
my
God. You did a magic
I got
trick.
scared.
All right.
So all in all, how did you guys like this episode though?
Out of 5.
Five?
Out of 5 time watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say probably like 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. My only critique of it is, though, is like I said, it seemed a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
And it seems they're still trying to find like the pacing for it and everything like
Yeah.
that. But it was much better. We finally got answers.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Waz is showing up now. Like I said at the table, I love that we're getting this backstory. There's a conflict between them. I love Waz is getting more involved. And fingers crossed, hopefully Waz maybe gets a writer watch at some point.
You know what we
I'm
need in
on
the show
board.
though? We need like a Cisco Ramon character in the show.
It would not hurt.
It would not hurt.
yeah.
Like kind of like that person that just kind of
Audience score now while we're
brings-
talking about it.
Okay, that brings everybody together.
Yeah.
So,
I will say I'll give it 3.5 too. As a guy who was so unsure of the show when we started, we got around the Forza episodes. I'm like, hey, you know what? It's pretty watchable.
Yeah?
If we stick
Alright.
around in this area, I might be cool with it. So far, we're sticking around in this area. I'm so far okay with the show. It's
you
not,
guys-
it's not my favorite, but
it's
It's
definitely
getting better.
I think it's getting a little bit better.
Like, I loved the beginning, and then I kind of went to this slump, and then all of a sudden it's redeeming itself again.
Yeah.
It's kind of redeeming itself. I'll give it
Aw,
a 3.
Jay.
I'll give it a 3.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. I want to point out the next of I'll point out moments where it's lacking, but it's decent. The explanations are better.
Yeah.
The fight scenes are better.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little creepy that another writer kind of was just floating. He's like, "Hey, I'm here, gonna get you."
Yeah.
He's a bit of a creep.
Yeah, he's a creepy guy. Let's go to the chat and see what they ranked it. Let me see how far.
Crab Stomp gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, Crab Stomp 3.5.
Nightman gave it 4 out of 5.
Layla.
J Boss gave it a 4.
I love Layla's because she goes, I give it a, this show has me confused and I don't even watch out of 5.
Oh, nice. Well done, Layla. Well done. Well done.
Every week it's something different. It's like
I like that Layla's like, I gave up on the show, but I like watching you guys, so
Out of 5.
I'm just gonna dunk on it, and I'm outie until we talk about a show I know about.
J Boss says 4, Champion says 4 out of 5. The cool guy says 4.5 out of 5. He
Nice.
really liked it.
Wow.
Okay.
Ryan Infinity Wizard Thomas, what's up, Ryan? Gave it 5 out of 5.
Whoa,
Alright, right on.
wow.
Blackwing gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Mainly because he says, I didn't watch Wizard yet, but Beast is an okay secondary writer.
Okay,
Fair.
cool.
Makes sense. Spencer Harris gave it 3.5 out of 5.
And Edward Chance says a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
We're getting
People
pretty
are
close.
getting better with the
We're
show.
getting pretty
Yeah.
close. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to gauge it, like say how I rate it and how the audience rate it.
Yeah.
Once it gets closer, like, okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was with
Not
my
stupid.
3.5. I'm like, okay, I'm close to like everybody with that because this thing I liked it, but again, I just want to hold the show accountable because I wanted to keep getting better.
Yeah, and for me, like, since my biggest issues are the leads, I'm okay with them. I'm okay with Sougo. I'm okay with
With them.
I'm okay with them. Tsukuyomi. I think Gates is becoming more of a problem for me,
Yeah.
and I think the problem for me with Gates is he's, I think, the weakest actor
Yes.
out of all three.
Yes.
I just don't.
And it's bad. Like his acting is just.
And he's trying to act tough
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
You can't
smoldering.
act tough when you're wearing that. When his whole getup is kind of weird. He's wearing that weird little only neck piece thing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
alley scene right here. Like when he goes and starts confessing his love, he appears in the alley, and then he just turns and he like crosses his arms, and it looks like he's leaning on something. Like, bro, you're not leaning on anything. What are you doing? This just looks really awkward right now.
Like here's the thing. We jumping way back, and I won't stick around here too long. But when we talked about the Fies episode,
Yeah.
and I got a chance to watch because we met in that Fies episode. We had Takumi and Kaija from Fies. I watched Kaiza's episode in Fies just to get ready for him for this episode, and he was really young. Probably around the same age as Gates, but you know what? I totally
good.
bought him as that type of a character, and he was probably around the same age,
I don't.
18,
I
19.
feel like age doesn't have anything.
But that's
to do with it.
that's what I'm talking about. Like that guy was probably around the same age, clearly a better actor, and here,
But
Look
at
at
the
this,
same
look at
time,
this.
though, let's give. Just for me, I want
I'm
to
just
give.
being Gates also.
I want to give the kid a chance because,
Yeah.
like we said, we talked about the writers. The writers the first time. These are all new people. It's not like beforehand it was like, oh, this person was in this show or
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's like all these people are new people. Because think about it. Grease was amazing in build.
Oh, yeah.
But Grease had been in other series before.
Right.
And he was an experienced actor, so he was able to bring this full range. So the thing about it is, though, these guys are going to hopefully get better with episodes. So they get more, like, hopefully more experience. And what's dope is we may see them, like, in 2, maybe 3 writer series from now. I think it'd be totally amazing.
oh no, agreed. And
Hopefully.
especially because like with Sougo, it's like part of the reason I'm finally being more cool with Sougo is that I think the writers are figuring out how to write him better and to his strengths, and I'm like, all right, play him off as a bit of a dope. I think that's a little better for me.
But is it right to like get the hang of it while you're doing the show?
I mean, no, you kind of have no choice, though, right? Like, you hired this kid, you have to make this work.
Yeah. Like, low-key, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say Ray Bradbury, amazing writer, like 1984 and all these different things. Yeah. He has a thing he says about writing. He says, writing is like jumping off a cliff and building an airplane on the way down.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, though, is that, and that's honestly what it is, because a lot of times people ask, like, I'm sure Justin gets this as a writer, too.
Sure, yeah.
People look at it like, oh, so you already had this all planned out and blah, blah. No. Sometimes you're just writing as you go. And the thing about it is that for a comic writer, it's a little bit easier, because, like, if I'm doing an ongoing series, hopefully I'll have enough, like, issues in the bag or whatever. Yeah. But when I'm doing an episodic show, week to week, I have these deadlines I have to meet. It's all this pressure, and we're trying to, like, incorporate the new toy, incorporate new figures. We have to push this character, so on and so forth. Yep. It's a lot of things. And so these guys are probably just getting used to this. And like the guy who's on what you call PatRangers versus Lupinranger is like, well, you know what? Just won't write villains. But these characters will be amazing.
Yeah.
He knows where to make the
I don't know villains, but we'll go with it.
Hey, speaking of, let's slide right into that. And don't forget, if you want us to read your comments, please don't forget the super chat.
Yep.
FYI, in case you need a reminder on that.
I enjoyed this episode, and I was surprised. Like I was kind of like, I was like, whoa. So I was like, oh no, not another episode like this. We're like, oh, whoa, what happened here?
No, I was right there with you. Like literally, as I was watching this episode, I was like, oh, he sends them home. Like, what's that happen? They're all getting in the same house or something.
Yeah, they did that weird rolling thing, and then of course Kiyoshiro was doing that one position again.
Yeah,
he likes that position. I don't know why.
I don't get it. PG show.
Anyway,
dude,
can we hold on to that detail of Umika just barely holding on to the roof?
Oh, that's dope.
Producer Nagami pointed out to me, and that is hilarious.
It's a dope shot.
It's so subtle too. I did like the gangler's powers. It's kind of like a portal style type thing where he's opening up a doorway and just like punching his claw through it, and he's literally not moving anywhere. He's like,
So yes, the episode is like, okay, so right, I'm with you guys. Okay, that's the fun of the blah blah blah. So what I really love here is the realization that Kairi didn't get shipped back. And the fact that is actually the drama of the episode is so cool.
No, it is, and it's so underlying and so strong.
No, okay, so he lives at this place, but he doesn't consider it a home, or he doesn't live in this place.
And what's crazy is he doesn't really even realize it himself to some degree. Because like when everyone gets his, like, I sent everyone home. He's like, why are you still here? He's like, I don't know why it didn't work on me. He's just fighting. But you as the audience, you're watching like, oh my gosh.
No, that says so
dude
much.
Doesn't have a home at all.
And he doesn't consider living with Toma and Umika home.
No.
Yeah.
And Toma was a legitimate like, I'm a little hurt by that.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, like you start thinking about him, like he is the youngest of the group.
Yeah,
he had that relationship with his brother. He doesn't have his parents. Like maybe he never had a home. And the way he's kind of rebelling too, because remember that basketball episode? Yep. We kind of said, "I'm going to choose the thieving life over my basketball." Where he's just kind of like pushing everything away from his past life. Like
this was another.
Yeah,
this was another episode where you could see that there's a separation between him and his two partners.
Yep.
Because the other two were unable to like separate the main mission and where the heart was, because they weren't able to eliminate that obstacle that was put in front of them. But Kairi, he was.
Kairi, they're setting up Kairi in a fashion that I wasn't ready for at the show, which is like, is Kairi the true heir of the Lupin legacy? And this is what we've been seeing, is that like whatever they've been challenged to do to separate themselves to their new thieving lives, Kairi's ready for it more than Noel, more than Umika, more than Toma. And I found that to be really interesting in the fact that like, wow, that says so much character work on Kairi without flat out saying it.
No, but like it wasn't just for this episode. It wasn't just Kairi. They were expanding on the relationship between Kairi and Kiichiro.
Oh yes.
And not just that. Even what's Pada Pink's character?
Tsukasa.
Yeah.
Tsukasa. They're just like, oh well, there is a deep connection with Kairi and these two PatRangers, and I don't know why Kiichiro feels the need to help him.
Well, see, low-key, that's the reason why I love Kiichiro's character so much. Like, here's the thing, like, when this episode started, he's like, he sends you home, he immediately was like, well, cool, I'm moving to my house. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to live in this tent, so that way when you zoom him again, his powers will be null and void. Right. And I'm like, dude, that's commitment right there. That's badass.
That's pretty cool.
And he just does it immediately. And then when he hears Kairi needs help, he immediately leaves and is like, I can take the 10 set up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to help Kyrie right now.
Yeah.
And even though Kyrie's pushing him away, he's like, no, I want to help you. And he's like, I want to help you. And that's just why I always get frustrated with the PatRangers, because they always write him as goofballs or whatever. But I'm like, dude, you have some of the noblest intentions.
Yeah.
You guys are such good people. Especially, again, PatRanger Red pushing himself to all these positions and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fight scene at the end where he's literally sacrificing his body, taking the blows and everything like that so they can get the shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
that is a hero.
Because he knows that he's unaffected.
Yeah.
Exactly, but not only that, though, remember he's like with the portals right here, like he's taking the blows for that too,
Yeah.
Right.
and just using the backpack. But again, he's just taking these hits, and he's getting exhausted from, but he's doing what he has to do for the team.
Yeah.
The thing that I really love about the Kyrie and Keiichiro stuff here is that it's actually been building up to this.
Mm-hmm.
It
You
has.
know, going
It
with
has.
the vacation episode, going even all back to when Kyrie saw the Keiichiro like sacrifice poison to save
Yeah.
people. So like the idea that like Kyrie has been slowly building up his like I can't like feel sorry for this guy because he's in my way. But also, he reminds me of my brother, and that's really messed up.
And not only that, though, but he's actually a good guy who I keep seeing doing these heroic, great things.
Yeah.
Who's always trying to help me, just like my brother.
Do you
Yeah.
want Do you want a kind of a theory why Keiichiro is so connected to Kyrie?
Glad.
Because it's his task that Kyrie is fulfilling. Because I still think that the master thief is Keiichiro. I think it's Keiichiro.
Really?
Wait,
Yes.
when did that happen? That was
Well,
the thing?
I was talking about last week. wasn't
Really?
I don't remember this.
You know? I didn't say that.
No.
Hair and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it is. I think that's the ultimate undercover job that he's doing. You know. Yeah. Okay,
That's all. Here's the thing.
You don't want to jump on
Here's the
him?
thing. If you're right, that's an amazing call.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a half-court Steph Curry shot. I was like, whoa, how did he make that?
Didn't see that
But at
coming.
the same time, like, okay, that's it is elite. But if you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. Like, we're in this mindset that Keiichiro is like this straight edge Boy Scout cop. You know, it's not really. It's kind of like bland. It's pretty bland.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially for a story like this. Add that to the mix. Add that dynamic to the mix. And add like, imagine that surprise or that reveal, where but probably they'll only reveal it to one person. Maybe they'll only reveal it to. They'll only review it through the butler. The butler knows or something. Because then some of this dynamic between Keiichiro and the reason why he's so concerned with Kyrie is that's the reason. Like,
Tag me in.
okay, go for it. Tag.
Jezzer has a good theory, and here's the reason why I have him supported with it too. Because think about it. Remember Keiichiro fights Kyrie and everything
Yeah.
like that. I remember they kind of lose and everything like that. That could have been his way to test him and everything like that. And then also remember when he fights Noel, but he gives Noel that business. Great episode. So the thing about it is though, is this could be again he could be this master thief in that way.
Yeah. Like
So,
testing
yeah,
testing
exactly.
him. I mean, it's a stretch. It's definitely a stretch.
I
But
don't
again,
have-
if
I
you're
don't
right,
know-
it's
yeah.
a great half-court shot.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you saw something, it could be dope.
No, here's the thing. Like, first off, if you're right, yeah, no, like I didn't see that coming at all. I'm not sure if I'm into it. If I can be
No?
honest,
If
I'm
you're
not
not
sure.
into it?
I like. Part of me is like, it kind of goes back to with build and like, did I need Banjo to be part alien? That's pregnant. His mom's pregnancy was accelerated by Volt. No, couldn't
No,
have he
no.
just been a boxer?
Can I?
Who got in a screwed up situation and just learned how to be a better guy?
But I've
Yeah.
seen it before. I've seen this before. If have you guys ever seen the movie Now You See Me?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with Mark Ruffalo, where
Yeah.
he's a cop.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
But it was
Spoiler.
kind of a spoiler if you saw the trailer to the second one, so you're
definitely
already
he's working it.
You're in
so
there,
where Mark
yeah.
Ruffalo is the cop that's hunting these guys down the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
time, when it turns out he's the one giving them these tasks. He's the all-knowing being, you know. So I mean, it's not
Well, now when you say that, well, crap.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, me, myself, again, it would be a great call. At the same time, I don't want it to happen just for the fact that, like, I like Keiichiro's character.
Same.
I love his motivation. Because the cool thing about it is, like, I love those heroes. We talked about this before, like, I'm a Cyclops fan. I'm a
Okay.
Captain America fan.
Yeah.
I love the guy who does the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Okay. So,
And so
you love this. You love the idea, but you don't want it if it sacrifices that character.
Exactly.
And I think that character is important in this show. You know, like to the show that like this is if Keiichiro's deal at the end of the show is learning how to like in a weird way trust the Lupinrangers despite them having the fact of them being thieves, but knowing that they have a complicated situation. I like that story more than they go, guess what? Ha ha!
Oh, okay.
Like, because I'm like, no, that's an arc that the show's building up to very nicely to me.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will say this, like, my only critique always is, I wish some of this stuff was happening earlier, because let's say this was episode, for example, like 25, 26, that means that at some point we see the Ranger teams team up,
right?
And then we also have the cops now kind of have to break the law to keep teaming with the Lupinrangers, and we have to see that conflict of interest right there, too. Because right now, I don't feel like we're going to get enough of that, because right now we're like, what episode was this? This was episode 37? 37, so yeah, we only got 13 episodes left, pretty much, probably.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
I like this. I did like this, how they didn't really like drag it out too long where, we have to work together. It's like, no, we're just working together.
Well, no, especially with Kyrie going like, it's his, like, no, it's his idea. It's like, no, this is the only way to make it work.
Yeah.
And I love how he was like, he's like, oh, we're going to form the team together. He's like, no, I'm just doing this so I get him out of my hair. It was like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You technically want to work together.
Exactly.
For the greater good. For the greater good.
Exactly. You want to help this guy. You like this guy. Yeah. And I love the end where she's like, Kid Show, she's like, you got to let it go. Maybe you should ease off his, but he's like, nah. I'm going to keep going. Point out, dude, respect.
Can't point out, like, this is part of the reason why I don't want the reveal that you're suggesting, is like when Keiichiro was kind of like hurt. He's hurt that Kyrie doesn't consider him to be a friend.
Yeah.
Like, he to the point where Tsukasa's like, hey, maybe he came off a little too strong. Like, I really love that scene where it's just Keiichiro's like, I thought we were bonding.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell he's the kind of guy who doesn't make a lot of friends. Like Tsukasa gets him, but are they friends? The work friends?
They're coworkers.
Coworkers who are friendly.
But I think she understands him the most.
She does understand him the most.
She understands him the most.
Yeah, and that's why here Tsukasa's like, just give him.
So
give him time.
Is there
give him some
is there
space.
something between Tsukasa and Kyrie?
I told you.
There is something.
Told you. Said this last week.
There's something. I even like that Keiichi was a little like, oh, you felt you know about a little bit more about it than him than me.
He's gonna like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, well, a little bit,
I told you, like, you missed it last week. I was telling Jezzer, I feel like they've been setting up a possible love interest there. Okay. I feel like there's frequency possibly.
But they're not gonna go with the Umika and
Sakuya?
No Sakuya.
Yeah.
I think that will be a payoff, but it'll just be like something random. Like, but I think it will pay off too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, if you told me Umika was gonna be there, I would have joined you. He's like, you said you didn't want to go.
Okay, so out of 7 Rangers, who would you give it this week?
7 Rangers?
I'll give this a 6.
Ooh. Solid 6.
Solid 6.
Audience rating time.
Solid
6. 7.
No, take it back. 6.5.
6.5?
I'm getting a 6.5.
Oh, you're going up.
I'm going up a little more. I want to.
You're going up.
I'm going in.
You're going all in. Take it.
I'm not all in. I didn't put all 7 down, but
How about you? Oh my God! Here we go. What is it? What's he gonna do?
Out of 7?
What are you gonna do?
7.
Oh my God! Oh.
Damn! Oh, you beat me on that.
Dude, it did everything I've been asking the show to do. It gave me emotion. It almost had me tearing up. It gave me like plot development. It took the PatRangers seriously, and they had this like connection, everything like that. And then only that though, the Zord fight made sense. They all came together for a good reason. Yeah. And then I love the chemistry in the Zord fight, everything like that. With the whole mission complete. I was like, all right, now, dude, get out of here. Yeah. It was a dope episode.
And you had an equal balance of the wonkiness and the actual like depth and the character development, which is good. Like, I want more character development, more of that, but you gotta have the wonkiness.
I want to bring something up, and it's like we brought this before, and I do want to address it, give it a little segment now. Yes, the biggest problem of the show, and I 100% will agree with this, is the villains. We've talked about that a lot.
We have villains.
Yeah,
do we have villains?
Well, no, clearly
it's an obstacle, but not a villain.
And I think this is okay now, and this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm learning about what they've been doing with Sentai, starting with Q-Ranger. They're trying new things out. With Q-Ranger, they decided to have 12 members.
Yep.
Biggest they've ever done. This show, they decided to do verses, which they've never done with a Sentai show before. And I feel like they get a learning curve for each thing. Like with Q-Ranger, it's like, okay, they have the chance to really explore every angle of different characters, different types, different backstories.
What do you call that? What do you call that kind of mentality?
I just think right now they're in a place with Sentai where they just have to figure out
trial and error.
Trial and error, because they just need to keep the franchise going. And everyone knows when you just stay safe, it's stale.
I agree with John.
I feel like Hasbro should do that.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. Because the thing about it is, though, is that like I agree with you saying because it makes sense because like being on air for like so many years, over 35 years now, coming over your 42nd
years,
42nd anniversary and whatnot. The thing about it is, though, is that like you have to try to mix it up because you can't just do the same 5-person team, teenagers with attitude
What's the
or whatnot.
definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again.
And the thing, like, so with Q-Ranger, they tried, let's have a bigger team. And, you know, like there are things that are great about the show, things that didn't work for the show. This time they're trying out, let's have, like, a versus team. And I think that's been fun because it's giving them new story options that they never had a chance to do.
Ooh.
Like, here's the thing I love about the show, the idea that identities mean something to this team. Like, they have to do a dual...
They haven't done that in a while.
No, and even, like, a hero, even when Sentai and Rider, they do a duality thing. Like, they don't really expose your identity to the world, but they don't really hide it either.
Yeah.
Here, it's a case where hiding their identity is part of the narrative.
Yeah.
It's part of the drama.
For the Lupinrangers.
For the Lupinrangers. And that's totally new.
Yeah.
And so the fact that that's something refreshing. But because they're so distracted with this, also means that they forgot Zamibo for like 80 episodes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. If you tag me in real quick.
Tag.
Boom.
Tag.
The other thing about this too is that this is one of the first times where you've always done like, oh, new Rangers show up, they're going to be our enemies for a little while, but then we come together as a team. This is the first time where you've done like the whole season was like, no, the whole time we're kind of enemies and we're kind of forced to work together. Yeah. And so I agree with you. That's the other reason why it gets sacrificed because I understand I can see into the writer's head. There's like, well, here's the thing, we're having conflict between the two Rangers teams, and so we don't always need the conflict of a villain every episode, but you still need this overarching goal that you need to be reminded of. And so that's kind of the problem. Like, and again, I understand why it's challenging because you only have like 22 minutes to do this every week.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's the learning curve they're going to learn this season. Is that like, oh, we figured out these really different ways to tell stories that we've never done them before. And then all of a sudden, especially if you're telling that it's a lot of veterans writing this, they're excited.
Exactly.
And then they realize I'm sure there's like a storyboard and there's like a note board. Someone goes, right, the ganglers.
Yeah. They're like, hey, what's that thing on that side of the board?
It's the frozen guy that killed their loved ones.
Oh, yeah.
We should probably talk about this again.
This reminds me of that. Have you guys ever seen the movie Small Soldiers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
oh, please explain to me how you're going to tie this in.
Okay. So, well, because they got it right. They're like, okay, we have the Commando Elite. They're everything. But what do they need? Like his emphasis.
Bad guys.
Yeah.
Villain. Like there's like they're trying to figure out what they need. It's like they need bad guys. That's like this is what you need.
Which is hilarious because that actually echoes the real story of G.I. Joe.
Yeah. When
they made have you seen the toys that made us?
No, I haven't seen that one yet. On the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, so they basically was like, hey, we need it's Hasbro. It was like, hey, let's make G.I. Joe, and so they have them make a bunch of soldiers, and they were talking to Larry Hama to come up with a story, and he's like, well, who's their bad guy? Bad guy?
Yeah.
And Larry Hama's like, they should fight somebody. Oh, we figured maybe they would fight other toys. Yeah. And then Larry Hama's literally looking like, make a bad guy here. Cobra, I made you one for you.
That's what they're missing. Cobra. That's what the show is missing. The show is missing bad guys.
Missing Cobra. They're missing the Decepticons, and like
they're missing something.
And like the ganglers are just kind of hanging out in their fancy mansion, doing. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes.
Funny enough, Small Soldier's issue is that the animal side is really boring.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. Those animals are so boring.
The soldiers are great. The animal side's really boring. I don't remember anything about them.
Initially, they
were environmental toys.
Yeah,
wanted,
they were supposed to be.
And then they had the most ridiculous.
No, and then he used the wrong password, so that's why they're good.
Yeah.
He used the wrong password.
And it cracked me up at the end. Where like after everything's over, it's like we're gonna go search for our home. You realize you were made, right? Your home does exist.
No,
we will find.
This is some Buzz Lightyear.
No, time out. Tell me about the wind, man.
Oh,
okay. Tell me about the wind. All right, we're going off track.
We are talking.
No, after this we start talking Indian in the Coven.
This is the most. First, that's a great movie. But this is the most I've ever talked about. Freaking Small Soldiers. Or Indian to cover in the last 20 years.
And that's why Henshin Hangout is amazing.
I'm sorry. I got these weird connections. I'm connecting these stories to.
They're good.
Small Soldiers. I brought up Small Soldiers and I brought up Now you see me. I don't know.
There it is. There it is. That's where they go off to their deaths.
Not their deaths.
They are going to their deaths. Their home does not exist.
No,
they were made in a lab. Where do you think they went?
Their batteries last forever.
Your batteries last forever. They're military-grade batteries.
Yeah.
You know where they are now?
They survived an EMP.
No, they did not. You know where that river led? A sewage line. You know what they did? They had the Toy Story 3 ending.
No.
But they went down into the furnace.
Between 1 to 7 PatRangers, how many times do you think Jezzer's seen Small Soldiers? Go comment below. Way more than me, apparently.
I love Small Soldiers.
So wait, quick question.
Not today.
Yes!
Oh, no!
You monster!
Oh, this is
Yes.
Oh, you didn't see the extended
Yes.
cut?
You monster!
I told you.
You should have seen the extended cut. It was brutal.
So here's the thing, though. So here's what I was thinking. We'll speculate for a moment here. The thing about it is that they
There is no real planet. Sorry, go ahead. Continue. Sorry, I'll stop.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So they keep trying out new things.
Yeah.
So like you said, the last series they tried out like 12 Rangers.
Right.
This series they tried out again, like going against each other, no villains as much. What do you think will be the experiment next time?
Oh, we actually know.
Well, Well, next up, the rumor is that it's going to be an RPG themed Sentai team. I think with a Ryu Oger, like Dragon Rangers.
Yeah.
I made that joke.
So
where
like a
it's-
mage and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is like
Dungeons and Dragons, Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I hope it's like a little maybe I can get some Knights of the King Arthur and Knights of Justice style
King Arthur
stuff.
and the Knights of Justice.
Justice.
That would be so cool. Imagine the armor. The power ups is like, that's not a power up. This is a power up. It's just like a full suit of armor. It's gonna be so
Sir
cool.
Tone
Horses. The horses. They're gonna bring back horses. The last time they had horses was Gingamon. I love horses.
Sir Tone was the hip hop one. FYI.
No, actually, they need to bring back horses in Super Sentai.
You know what?
My
Okay,
God.
you know what I would dream for this Sentai team? One of them
That.
turns into like a dwarf and he shrinks.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious, and I would love that.
But you know what I would speculate would be fun too, though? I'm looking forward to this. So I was just thinking about something new for them to try. What if a monster ended up becoming the Sixth Ranger?
Ooh.
Because think about it.
What is that? Korag?
In
Mystic Force?
a little bit.
Yeah, but instead of like changing everything like that, it becomes like it actually gets a ranger suit. It gets like a humanoid form, like the hide or whatever.
Oh, well,
but it's still the monster.
I gotta tell you, then you should start watching Tsukuyomi.
Really?
Ooh, Tokyo, is that the train
You
one?
should. It's one of my favorites.
Really?
One of my favorites. And what you just said, you should really watch Tokyo.
All right, I'll check out Tokyo.
Just say they might have already been there,
All
and
right.
it's pretty great. Now,
Yes, Knights of Justice. Yes, such a great show.
Oh man,
Oh, so good.
This show is just like mentioned to like.
I don't. Hey, they transform in that show. There's
They
a
do.
Henshin sequence in
Yeah,
King
like,
Arthur.
It's a football team that transforms into knights.
Exactly. He is something
I
about
think
running into a portal.
the new Sentai series is going to be like that Marlon Wayne's Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Please no. Please no.
Is Snails
no.
alive? Find out
no.
never.
Exactly. He's alive. Let's go find him because we buried that body. Waste up in the grave.
With just based on the rumors, are you guys for that idea?
I think that could be fun, and if
that
they
could be
could
fun.
dedicate to it, if they really, man, if they can dedicate to like the RPG
I feel like
thing,
they tried it out a little bit in Q Ranger, that one episode.
yeah, that was.
Yeah.
They did. They
Yeah.
tried it.
And like
And
if you
also
look at the
Magi Ranger a little bit.
Okay.
and if you look at the Jew Ranger, which was
Oh.
Power Rangers,
And-
how they got everything was via kind of like Dragon Quest.
Ooh,
so
wait,
that
I just
kind of.
realized.
that's
Is Toei ripping off Voltron? Because remember Voltron did that episode where the Paladins are playing the RPG and everything like that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Toei's ripping off Voltron.
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes.
It's so dope. Yes. Come on, Justin. Get in. You know you love Voltron.
I do love Voltron.
Voltron. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that's a new idea. I'd be totally on board with it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'd be
That'd be
dope.
cool.
We'll see. We'll
Oh,
see.
see.
Okay, so go ahead and should we wrap this up?
Let's
Yeah,
wrap this
let's
up.
wrap this up. You guys, go for it. You're here. This. Oh,
Ah!
there you go. He's
Oh!
He's like,
Oh! Look at that intro! Oh!
See, Henshin. They were football, and then they henshined into
Yeah.
King Arthur, the Knights of Justice.
He's like, all right, go for it.
Sorry.
So dope.
So Johnny, where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnnyP313 on Instagram and Twitter. On Gumroad, you can find my books there. Justin, where can we find you?
Oh, no, hold on. I'll go first because we gotta keep.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. You can find me on all social media at Jezzer. All right, Justin, go.
Okay, here we go.
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Quiz, Twitter at Justin Keys. The final episode of Benview and Spielberg just got released.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 4 years of the show, so that's finally up. You can download that now. Nothing New, a remake podcast. The newest episode is out, and it's on Halloween.
That's dope. 4.
The Patreon, which we just recorded today
Oh.
for Nothing New, will be on H2O
Ooh.
and Halloween 2018.
Oh, that's sick.
And we had a really fun discussion with that.
That's dope. Does it count as 5?
Yeah.
5.
Morning Word, my other monthly podcast. Lumpia, which is still in production. Lumpia 2.
With a vengeance.
With a vengeance. And of course, finally, Shining Yusha.
Shining Yusha!
Is that 9?
Right, 9.
No wonder.
Lupia 1 and Lupia 2.
No wonder I don't freaking sleep. I'm so tired always. So if you help me with my Patreon, I would be less tired? No, I'll be more tired. Who am I kidding?
And don't forget, though, and where are you every Saturday when you can?
When I can't hang out.
Henshin.
So you rounded that up to 10.
I did?
Yeah.
Nice.
We got a shot.
You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your Saturdays with us. We appreciate it. And remember to like, comment, subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
And geek pop culture.
Night, guys.
Peace.